Well, thank God I did wear my Arsenal shirt for that, because fucking hell, what was that? Oh, God. If that last minute goal did not go in, the shit that I was about to say on the YouTube, I think they would have banned my account. But thankfully, it's a different outlook and I can compose myself a little bit. But welcome back to another match reaction. Arsenal 2, Wolverhampton Wanderers. Wolves 1. And boy, this game was interesting because coming coming towards this game beforehand, there was a lot of talk. A lot of football fans saying, Arsenal might record the highest scoreline since Southampton United and all these prehistoric stats. And I was a bit pragmatic in terms of my prediction for this game, because though being that Wolves are a very poor team, and that is something that you can't really hide from. They've picked up 2 points in the first 16 games of the season, and they're on course to do even worse than what Derby did back in '08. So, this game was kind of set up for that narrative. But with teams like this, you always have to imagine that the only way they could approach this game was the only way that most teams would, which is two banks of four, mid block. It wasn't even a 4-4-2. They kind of set up as a three in build up, but they rarely built up until the time they actually probed our goal. But for the most part, it was a back five, with the two holdings. I can't remember what their names were, but yeah, it was a very frustrating. And this is the game where you start to look at Arsenal, and I start to even now start to think that we can only play in one gear. It doesn't when games like this go, it doesn't feel like we can go up a gear. It doesn't feel like we can go gear 2, gear 3, gear 4. It doesn't feel like that when we're watching these games, even against Club Brugge as well, and games previous to that. It doesn't feel like we can turn up the tempo and start creating chances. Guys, it took us 66 minutes to register our first shot on target. Do you know how long a game of football is for you to go a whole hour? Bearing in mind, it's not a whole hour if you just sit, bruv. You have the ball for 60 odd minutes. Wolves looked more threatening than us before we even registered that shot. Do you know how embarrassing that is? A Wolves team that lost to United made them look piss poor, and rightly so. A team like this, you make them look exactly what they are, and that's a team that's going down, regardless of whether or not they would have picked up a point here or there. When you sign Rob Edwards as your man to save you, you just have to accept that's a recipe for we are going down, and we're just planning for the championship, because 66 minutes to not register a single shot on target. I swear on my life. You see, if that game ended 1-1, do not let that manager walk out that stadium. He has to stay where he is here and just get an interim, because there's no reason. I don't care if the Skelly foul should have been a red. I don't care anything. If you didn't beat Wolverhampton at home, sack this manager right this second, right? Because I'm telling you now, yeah, if we do not win this Premier League, he has to go. He's had way too many chances, guys. Let's call it for what it is, right? That game was poor. Like, we won, cool. We keep our momentum, cool. And we can say that's just a blip, whatever. But come May, come the end of the season, if this manager is still here, I don't know what I can say to this football club, because that performance there did not fill me with any confidence that we're gonna pick it up come the later games, because we did not create anything of any substance. Like, did Johnston in that first half even make a save? Like, can someone tell me, did Johnston even look like, did Johnston look like he was breaking a sweat? Like, Raya looked like he was about to break a sweat. Johnston, I'm not entirely sure. Like, there was that one ball that went across the line, and it's the same thing I've always said about Gyökeres. Why does it always feel like he's never at the end of any of these crosses? Don't get me wrong. I can agree with fans that say we don't play to his strengths. That's fine, but you have to give us something that makes us have that confidence in you that whenever that ball comes in, we can play it off you, it can roll off you, and you can be a focal point in our attack. A lot of the times the ball comes to Gyökeres, and I keep saying it time and time again, this guy reminds me of Rasmus Højlund, bro. Wrestling with defenders. I've been saying this for a very long time. This guy reminds me of Rasmus Højlund at United. He offers you absolutely zilch, and Rasmus was a lot slender. My key takeaway from Gyökeres is, if I was his nutritionist, I'd have told him to cut some weight, because he looks like he's got a brick foot every time he gets on that football. But that ball, it's just never there. Like, he's always either a second late, a second early, or he's just nowhere in the vicinity of that shot. And that goal that Jesus scored, or the own goal, whatever, how is Jesus connecting with that ball? But guarantee you, guys, I guarantee if that ball was on Gyökeres instead, that goal is not even going on target. It's not going on target. So this whole issue is with Gyökeres, we're not playing to his strengths. Forget all that. Forget about not playing to his strengths, guys. Is he even showing us any signs of someone that can actually play at an Arsenal level striker? For me, he doesn't even look like an Arsenal level striker. Forget about the compliments of, do we play to his strengths in terms of getting goals? I'm at the point where I'm looking at Gyökeres and I'm thinking, come this summer, I'll be honest, you're starting to look like Kai Havertz. Come this summer, you if you don't bag 20, you also have to start holding bench and get someone else in, because I'm at the point with Gyökeres, yeah, guys. Like I said it in my previous match reactions, and I think a lot of fans are starting to come to light with Victor. I think he's only got a couple more games, and then fans are starting to look, boy, this is looking like a waste of money. And I'm already willing to put my neck on the line and say he already does look like a waste of money, because at this moment in time, he ain't even getting 10 goals. Like, forget 20. He's not. Is he getting 10? Is he getting 10? Like, someone generally tell me, is he actually getting 10 goals? The only bit of play that looked like, that resembled anything of a striker, was in that second half, where he held out the ball really nicely, managed to turn and get the shot off. 16 games in, and that's the only time I've seen him able to hold a ball properly, turn, and actually manage to get a shot off. Albeit it was off target, yeah, but that was a difficult angle, so I'm not going to hold him to getting that shot on target. But anything he's been able to do that resembles anything of a striker, it's 16 games in. We're almost reaching the halfway point. We're 3 games away from reaching the halfway point of the season. And that's the first thing. But anyways, let's go back to the team. Yeah, the lineup was confusing, because I don't know if you guys follow us on social media or you see them on Twitter when they released the lineup. That lineup to me looked like Timber was at left back and Nketiah was at centre back, left centre back. But it ended up actually looking like Timber was at centre back, Nketiah left back. But we build up as a 3, so Nketiah was a bit further forward. Rice and Zubi. Look, I've always said, in games like this, I guess this, I don't know. Do you hold Arteta? I mean, judging by the way the game went, maybe the cautiousness was actually warranted. So I'm actually, yeah, I'm not gonna hold him to that, but I would have definitely played. I would have definitely gone a lot more out there. I would have definitely been a lot more out there with the lineup. Either drop Zubimendi for this game and get Rice in for the legs, and then get Odegaard and Eze playing together, because there was a game before Odegaard got injured where he did try that, and we actually looked good for like the first 10, and then obviously Odegaard got injured, and then it kind of just went away a little bit and we never saw it again. But a game like this definitely need to be more attacking, because Wolves are not going to pose much of a threat apart from what's his name? The 11. I'm not gonna try and say his name, but yeah, the 11. He was through on goal at one point, but we got that covered. To be honest, that's not really a midfield issue. That's just having someone at the back. We overcommitted and we almost paid the price for it. But what was I gonna say? Yeah, definitely be a bit more footed, because I was looking at this game going before this game. I was almost but certain that Wolves were going to play that pragmatic way, and that's the only way they could do it, because we see teams who struggle against Arsenal, teams that try and impose themselves, especially at home. But if you sit back and absorb the pressure and then get them on the counter, you can definitely get a lot of change out of this Arsenal squad. And in games like this, we struggle to create a lot in the first half, and it's kind of the same thing I've been saying. We struggle to play anything above a first gear. We always seem like we're stuck in that first gear. Saka today was good, even though I would have played Gyökeres, because Gyökeres, Noni Madueke on that right side, because you score a brace against Brugge, and a performance like that, and you get benched. I'm not really sure. Was this again for Saka to play, albeit he got an assist? Gyökeres had a very good game previously. You kind of kill his confidence a little bit by not starting him. Look, I'm not Noni's biggest fan, but a game like this, especially in the confidence that he's playing in, you got to just play, keep that momentum going. But yeah, Saka had a decent, okay-ish performance. He was the only one that looked like he was doing anything. Martinelli, look, I've always said about Martinelli. Martinelli should not be starting. That side, leave that to Trossard, and then Martinelli comes on at the second half or something, because Martinelli starting is just annoying at this point, because you just know what he's going to do, and it's like, and it's not a lot, to be honest, guys. I'll be so real. Like, I'm not the biggest Martinelli fan. Like, I just think he's so limited in terms of what he offers, that left side almost just becomes redundant when he's there. Like, and don't get me wrong, we've neglected that left side for a hot minute, because anyone that plays on that side doesn't offer you anything, because you put Noni on that side, he looks awkward and just looks like uncomfortable on that side. Martinelli put on that side doesn't really offer you much. The only player that has any real substance and we look semi-decent on that side is Trossard. And how long can he go on for? So yeah, guys, yeah, I'm trying to keep this very short, but yeah, that was not a good performance at all. Let's just keep it a buck. Let's just be very, very brutally honest. Anyhow that game ended at 1-1 or 0-0, serious questions, because we're losing that grip on the top spot. And the moment City go above us, it's looking peak, because the last thing you want to be doing is chasing a City team. Like, we're not good chasers, guys. We're not, because we saw last season when we were chasing Liverpool, we lost grip way before it even hit New Year's. So I think the only way Arsenal stay in this title race is if we have as if we're the leaders instead of chasing, because I don't think we're good chasers. We're not good at chasing City or Liverpool in a title race. So yeah, that's that. Yeah, that goal we conceded. That goal is very similar to that Sunderland goal. Raya commits and the ball goes the other way, and then you look at what happened. Yeah, that goal we conceded very, very similar to what you see against Sunderland. He didn't need to commit, and he moved away from his line. We conceded again. So yeah, luckily we scored straight after. But yeah, just keep the pressure on. Okay-ish performance. But yeah, and to that comment, by the way, I saw on my previous video, no real substance in whatever the fuck he said. I'm not entirely sure what he was trying to say. Your international footballers, yes, and are you going to create any real counter argument to what I said? Because you said a lot of nothing there. But look, Wolves are going down. You know, just get the 3 points. But yeah, poor performance. 60 odd minutes to register your first shot on target is very concerning. Very, very, very concerning, considering a United team who are sitting in like 12th put 4 past these lot. But yeah, I'll leave that as it is. But yeah, pressure's on, and yeah, he's got to deliver, and also got to win this title, because this football is absolutely dire. Like I've been saying it for a lot of my previous match reactions. We don't build up quick enough. There were so many times when that ball needed to go on the inside, but instead it goes out to Saka when Eze was open, and then if you take a little bit too long to play that ball on the inside, that gap closes, and then you're forced to go on the outside. There's times when the pressure is on that right side, get that ball to Saka, get him to run that Doherty, and then it doesn't go to Saka. It goes back out to Zubimendi, and Zubimendi passes to the centre back, and then we recycle the ball. And it's things like this which hamper how we play offensively. So it is what it is, guys. But yeah, on to the next one. I'm not even sure who we got, to be honest. I've not been keeping up, but yeah, I'll see you guys in the next match reaction.